Now, I'm not saying I did it. I can neither confirm nor deny that I knew about it and may or may not have been there, but I did not do it. Hey everybody, it is Chris coming back to you with another sit down stand up, or as some other people around here call it, a stand up sit down. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe if you haven't already, so that you don't miss any more of these or any of our trivia shows, wrestling memes. We got a bunch of other stuff coming. You know the drill. But I want to talk to you guys today about a special time in my life. A time that fundamentally changed and formed who I am today. And I am, of course, talking about the joy of college. And college was a crazy time for me. I was born and raised in Maine. And when it was time to go to college, I had a couple decisions to make. Decide if I wanted to go to a college in Maine or if I wanted to go somewhere else. And here's the thing you have to realize about Maine. If you've never been there, there are 2 seasons, and that is winter and the 4th of July, and that's it. You get about 3 weeks of a decent summer. And so I didn't know where I wanted to go to college, but I knew that I wanted to do like marketing, some kind of thing like that, which is what I ended up graduating in. Spoiler alert. And so looking around at different colleges, it was actually my mom who found Western Kentucky University and went for a campus visit. And I said, the number one thing was we left the morning before. My dad and I went for the campus visit, and we left Maine, and it was 50 degrees. And then the next day we got to Kentucky, and it was 94 degrees. And that was in June. So that should tell you everything you need to know. And I took the campus tour, and there are seasons here, which at the time was fantastic, but for my allergies that then developed once I was exposed to seasons, much less great. So decided to go to Western for a couple reasons. Number one, everybody was super nice in the campus visit. And then also there were seasons, which is fantastic. But then also if my parents wanted to like drop in, they wanted to just pop in and say, hey, they would have to give me 2 days notice, which is great. So I could have cleaned up, and gotten everything arranged. So that was nice to be able to have a little bit of a buffer. They were like, hey, we're going to be there on Wednesday. And I'd be like, cool, it's Monday. I got time to get myself in order. So, so that was great. But the one thing that really opened me up and opened up my my life in college was, getting there and realizing that I didn't know anybody, that I had like 0 friends, because everybody that I knew went to college either in Maine or New England or somewhere else. The one guy went to freaking Harvard, so way to go. Not jealous at all. But, so I knew nobody. So I had to start from scratch, which was pretty intimidating and pretty scary. But here we are. But one thing that really like helped me grow was pranks, college pranks. And it took me a year or two to really kind of, get a friend group that was prank-ish and prank-friendly. But when it happened, and I don't know what the statute of limitations is on all this stuff. I'm hoping that none of these people will hear about any of it. I vividly remember one specific instance where there was a guy who was unbearable. I will not use his name, but he was unbearable. And he would lie about everything. He would lie about, his family. He was related to a famous classic Southern rock band that everybody knows. And like his uncle was so and so in this band, and he was in the military, and he interacted with this person in the military that was obviously not true. And so he would lie to like build himself up and make himself feel better, and like put down everybody else. And he was the kind of guy that would borrow a video game and a memory card with the PlayStation 2 days, and then delete other people's data, so that he could be the only, he would be that far ahead, which was tells you everything you need to know about his character. But he was the victim of many, many pranks, including the super glue in the key lock to your dorm door. He was a victim of a lot of prank phone calls, and probably my favorite, which I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the statute of limitations is on this, but there may or may not have been an occasion where, if you're not familiar with the trash can trick is you take a trash can, one of the small, like the trash cans they give you, that are like the standard, $5, $10, whatever, like the real small ones for dorms. And you fill it about half with water, and then you angle it, you tilt it on someone's door, and then you knock on their door, and then when they open it, it's just gonna spray out, like all the water is just gonna come out. And if you do it like now, I'm not saying I did it. I can neither confirm nor deny that I knew about it and may or may not have been there, but I did not do it. But somebody may have dyed the water purple, so that anything that it got wet, in addition to super expensive textbooks and any musical instruments or anything that was on the floor, would also get dyed purple. So that, some people say you get what you deserve. I don't know. I feel like you get back the energy that you put out in life. So if you are a braggart who likes to put other people down, maybe you're going to get a trash can tilted up against your door, and purple water is going to come out and just spray over everything. I don't know. That's not for me to say. That later moved to, after moving off campus, moving into an apartment, slightly lighter on the joke. That one was a bit much. That one was a bit harsh, and I think it was at that point that I was kind of like, we need to scale this back before we end up in jail. End up in a court somewhere. So, the harmless pranks, victimless crimes like the sudden disappearances of traffic cones. We don't know. We don't want to know. We don't know where they went. We don't know. We're not going to say. Stuff like that. So college is a fantastic time to really find yourself, find your inner pranker. At some point, I feel like I need to tell a lot more college stories, because I feel like being the child of two parents who were both in law enforcement when I made it on my own, and was kind of not unsupervised, but I didn't have that kind of environment. I feel like I went from a lot more of like reserved tomfoolery and hijinks to being a bit more open about it, and a bit more reckless isn't the right word, but just kind of like letting it go. And so to a point, that was very good. Also, probably would have done a couple things differently, but that's all what it is all about, right? Is finding yourself and becoming more in tune to who you really are as a person. So, at some point, I'm going to look into when I can no longer be prosecuted for some of these, and I will share more college stories, and hopefully dodge Johnny Law. So, until next time, hopefully you enjoyed my trip down memory lane a little bit in college. This has been an episode of Sit Down, Stand Up with TN2M Shows. I am Chris, and I will see you next time.